Sandbox games can have an exploration problem. You've seen a biome once and hence you've seen it all. But Hytale is doing something different with it. It's not just about the size of the map. Sandbox have infinite map sizes, but it's also about the rewarding loop hidden within every biome. From the way prefabs are handcrafted to the secrets of Orbis, here are the 3 reasons that will make Hytale's exploration actually addictive. Reason number 1, Orbis World Gen. For most people, when they hear World Gen, their focus is on things like terrain. But in sandbox games like Hytale, World Gen is made up of 3 things mainly. That is the landscape, the prefabs, and the underground. According to the Intro to World Gen blog post, Hytale's approach to World Gen in the Legacy engine is zone-based. Most think of this as if it's just the biomes we're talking about when we talk about zones, and that's not really accurate. Let me demonstrate with a comparison to better understand it. You see, in the Minecraft world, biomes are generated randomly across a terrain with a few rules when it comes to things like height. However, its biomes lack an intentionality with how they are generated. The biomes are very random, sometimes unrealistic in others, and their pairings are not that great. Yes, it may be part of the charm of the game, but it makes for a less immersive experience, especially with realists. Hytale is actually structured differently. Even though both have procedural generation, in Hytale the world generation follows an intentionally crafted, almost RPG-like style of generation. Hytale generation is as follows: zone, region, biome. Zones are essentially made up of groups of biomes, supergroups basically, supergroups of biomes called regions, and then those regions contain several biomes within them. And of course, a zone will have similarities in its regions, but there will be distinctions also, and the biomes within the regions will also have distinctions. One of the main rules is that zones won't just appear randomly next to each other. Like, you're not going to find zone 1 appearing directly next to a zone 4, as it really makes sense realistically or story-wise. Hytale has a system of inbuilt difficulty as you transition zones, with zone 1 being the easiest and zone 4 being the most difficult in the current game. As you explore, you'll notice that you'll be able to move from zone 1 easily to zone 2 or zone 3, but you'll not be able to make the jump directly, at least, to zone 4. That may be that you'll have to go through one of the other 2 zones to get to zone 4. It's not that you can't go there directly, but you will need to face tougher mobs, harsher environments, and that will require you to have maybe better preparation, stronger armor that you might have to find within the preceding zones. The feature that I love most is as you move through the different zones, there is this mark at the top of your screen that kind of announces to you the zone that you've entered and the biome or the region that you've entered, and that just adds to the immersion. The style of world generation Hytale is using is a great one, and it also extends to the prefabs, both above ground and also underneath. Speaking of prefabs, let's discuss the prefab generation in Hytale. Most prefabs are generated using a noise map of Voronoi noise, which allows for multiplicity of large prefabs without it feeling like they were spammed across the world. It has a cell-like structure, and where you see the purple dots in this particular image is where really large prefabs would appear, with smaller ones happening in and around those ones. According to the Point of Interest blog post, these prefabs are handcrafted and worked on by multiple people, providing a very unique experience for each one of them as you land on them in-game. The structure also will not be too difficult to come across, which tells me no matter the direction your exploration takes you, you will enjoy it. World Gen also affects the underground. Underground structures are generated along with above ground prefabs, and these are structures like dungeons. However, natural caves are generated with landscape, following the wild rules set by the game and lore. In all zones, both prefabs, caves, and dungeons are affected by the zone you will find them in, ensuring that no underground adventure will be the same. Even in the footage we have seen, Zone 3 caves are far different from Zone 4 caves. Dungeons will also be a thing to look out for, especially in the first few weeks of early access. To have a world generation system that incorporates the lore and gameplay in 2 generations makes something that was only a part of a game to become a major feature. Reason number 2. Living sandbox. A good living world is what makes games great. Open world games usually do this well, mostly because the concept requires it and the map isn't infinite. Basically, a living world is made up of the environment around the player, how it works outside of the player affecting it. So think of mobs, mob interactions, or NPCs, and ambience. When exploring, you don't just want to find structures alone. You want to find mobs, you want to find those mobs interacting with each other, and you want to find those mobs interacting with the environment. And you also want to feel immersed in your experience. Hytale has all of those in plenty. Firstly, when it comes to mobs, Hytale has this faction-based system, with each zone having 2 opposing factions. That tells me I'm bound to find more than one mob, at least in a zone, with a complex motivation as I explore. Then on top of that, there are a lot more mobs. In fact, over 600 of them if I'm to go off the gameplay video that was released after the repurchase of Hytale. That will surely keep players turning heads as they explore. Secondly, when it comes to mob interactions, the opposing faction system makes it exciting. Let me explain that system. Each zone has 2 mobs that are the antithesis of each other. In the Emerald Wilds, we have Quebecs, which oppose Trocs. In the Howling Sands, the Ferns oppose the Skarks. In the Whisperfrost Frontiers, the Fauns oppose the Outlanders. You know, when they meet, there is trouble, and that would be an exciting interaction to come across. We have seen evidence of some mobs doing complex things like Troc slaying, rabbit traps, or Outlanders hunting bison. The fact that as you explore you could find these things happening without you setting them up is impressive. Thirdly, the ambience of a game can make or break it. Hytale has nailed its ambience with the environmental effects, weather, along with the impeccable sound design. From the sound of birds chirping, to the echoes in caves, to the footsteps in and out of structures, you will feel immersed for sure in every zone. The capstone of Hytale's ambience is the original soundtracks. You have music for every zone, so you feel every zone distinctively. Chaser, a friend of mine, has a great video on Hytale's ambience, and I would recommend you check it out after this one. Ultimately, ambience is one of the strong points for immersion in Hytale's exploration. The in-game day for Hytale is longer compared to a game like Minecraft. That means I won't have to avoid nights as much, and once I've embarked on a journey, I will enjoy it and still find challenges even during the day, because mobs are not tied to the day-night cycle, except for variant-related mobs, which I believe spawn more frequently in the dark. Reason number 3. World Gen V2. According to Simon, World Gen V2 will change the genre. In fact, in his own words, he said, "Can't wait for us to see what World Gen V2 is capable of." Seems the main point of excitement is the ability to customize the World Gen. As he said, there will be something called World Gen artists. That can only mean the worlds they have planned for the vanilla game will be that much more fantastical. Personally, all I want is to have a biome like the Hallelujah Mountains in the movie Avatar, and I think I'll find them because there's a zone which is Zone 5 that we believe will have something like that. I can't wait for the blog post to really learn more about this World Gen V2 so that we can fully understand his excitement. However, the other big thing is that Hytale's beautiful exploration is going to be expanded upon by the upcoming content. While a lot of early changes will be ironing out bugs, we will also be treated to some great content additions. Things like new zones, like Zone 5 that I've just talked about, expanded mob factions, Outerverses, and the ocean are all in the pipeline. But the addition I'm most excited about when it comes to exploration are the instance gates. Simon has actually confirmed this is being worked on and being implemented. In game, we will have these major lore prefabs like Sun Palace, like the Gaian Portal, and even dungeon instance gates for different zones. I feel that will deepen the exploration of Hytale and keep us all glued to the vanilla game. Contrary to some speculation, getting bored with Hytale will take some time to become a thing, especially if the team is consistent with pushing out updates and adding content as they build up the adventure mode to its final form. That is it for the video today. I would like to ask you to like and subscribe, and before January 13 is here, use code KINGPASSION as you support a Hytale partner and you support the game Hytale. I'll be excited to see any of you and play with all of you. The information I've used in this video comes from some outdated blog posts, but I've made sure I've stuck to information that I know is at least the most relevant to the legacy engine which the game is being made in currently. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.
Man, I would kill to see a fire truck. Imagine a fire truck chieftain.